All right. I am live, Graham. I am going to go live right now. If somebody comes, they come. If they don't, they don't. It is what it is. Salute, folks. It is your boy, the insurance junkie, your fiduciary fella, the all-star advisor Alonzo Hall, not returned today to whap and tap on your head with ADH Wealth Solutions. Today, we're doing breakfast and boule. Before I go in, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. So, like I said, we're doing breakfast and boule this morning because I want to talk to black folks about one thing that we always talk about that seems to be some bullshit. We always talk about the boule as if, oh, the boule, they're the bad guys. We don't want to be a part of the boule. And all this nonsense, which is not real. We know, given the opportunity, most black folks, what culture doesn't want to be a part of the elites of their culture? So you see how fucked up the black community can be sometimes, how we don't even want the high class. Oh, we don't want to be part of the high class motherfuckers. You think white people would be like, oh, I don't want to be the fucking Vanderbilts. No, they're gonna want to be the Vanderbilts, the elite rich motherfuckers. Everybody wants to be the elite of the elite. So yeah, they're gonna want to be the elite motherfuckers too. MOT, what's going on? Oh yeah, the Rothschilds, right? And motherfuckers want to be the Rothschilds. They don't want to not be the Rothschilds. So we, as black folk, got to get off of that. Oh, I don't want to be a part of the boule. I don't want to be a part of keeping up with the Joneses. That nonsense, right? And I know I'm picking on dudes a lot, but as men, we got to look at some shit, right? There's leadership skills that can bring us to the boule. There's certain we should all be wanting to be the elites, but they don't. Like you said, MOT, they don't display those leadership skills. I, as a man who am encroaching 40 and starting to grow completely tired of these men who are in their 60s who haven't passed down anything to us of substance. They haven't passed down anything to us for us to use for us or our children's future. Underrated. What's going on? I was talking with you about this yesterday on your panel, and he was saying, look, I'm pissed too. I'm that older guy, but the guys of my generation didn't leave it, but I still got to push down to you what to do. So I'll give you guys an example. 2008, when I got shot 5 times, I was living in the Trey 4 Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I had relatives, young black boys, who looked up to me, right? They thought I was cool because I was the running around gangster, wearing a bandana, doing what I want, smoking weed, blah, blah. But guess what? I had a job where I was working at fucking Wendy's, punching a clock. So I was somebody's bitch boy. Right? Because it wasn't like I was out there self-employed, being my own boss, right? I could see if I was out there self-employed, being my own boss, doing my own thing. Okay, that's one thing. But I was somebody's bitch boy, because guess what I had to do? I had to go punch a clock. Guess what I haven't done in 15 years? Punch the clock, right? I've created my own lane for the last 15 years. Right? That's part of boule is actually creating shit. Do you know back in the early days during Tulsa, the black dollar circulated for like 3 months. This is how we were able to create places like Green Rosewood, Tulsa, so on and so forth. Move cat. My cat trying to get in my fridge. While I'm sitting here trying to make me some scrambled eggs. So, we had things like We have real shit. But we had men who had responsibility. Now, am I saying that today is like 1924, where a man on one salary, on one income, can, you know, support an entire family? No. But guess what? For black folks, that was never a reality, right? And let's not act like it was all that much of a reality for white folks, right? Because let's not act like back in even in the glory days when when America was great, right? In between the 30s to the 50s, dudes were sleeping with their secretary. So in order for them to sleep with their secretary, that means a woman had to have a job. Now, yes, at that time, teachers, nurses, secretaries, those were stereotypical women's jobs, but women were working, right? We talk about a lot of different stuff that's different lifestyles. So a lot of this shit that a lot of black women say they want is boule, right? A lot of this shit black men say they want is boule. You got to be the cream of the crop, the top of the top. Kevin Samuels wasn't talking to the average black person. This is why he always called it the top 10, right? If you're making $80,000 a year, Kevin Samuels wasn't talking to you. Now, $80,000 a year, especially for shit an American, but a black man in America is a good salary. So I'm not diminishing it. But if you're making $80,000 a year, you don't fit the criteria that Kevin Samuels was talking about, right? If you're making $100,000 a year, you don't fit the criteria that Kevin Samuels was talking about. Generally, the criteria that Kevin Samuels was talking about is that boule tier. So we're talking people who are making $250,000 a year, right? It is what it is. I'm making me some sausage and I might make a sausage egg and cheese sandwich, but I'm definitely gonna scramble me some eggs. Oh shit, my cat is on my table. Hold on, y'all. This little nigga done lost his mind. Get off of the table. What the fuck? You done knocked down all my wife's shit. Cats, y'all, cats. I swear for God. Now he got the zoomies. I'm gonna lock you in the room, cat, while I sit here and do my live stream. Right? But Kevin Samuels was talking to a certain type of guy. And let's be honest, a lot of brothers ain't got it. I did a video the other day, right? Because here's how you can tell Kevin Samuels understood that brothers didn't got it. And as much bullshit as he talks, BGS had some points, right? One of the things he was trying to do was lead brothers to Kevin Samuels for that polish. And that's what ended up happening. That's how I came into this space. I came into this space seeing Kevin Samuels polished ass and was like, oh, it's an uppity nigga in a suit and tie. That's my language. That's generally what I do. Suit and tie, right? I had a conversation with Keeping It 100 where I was upset about black men's attire. And there's something that he said that made a whole lot of sense. He said, yeah, bro, you got to understand. Niggas don't understand suit language. So niggas don't understand when you're wearing, you know, an expensive article and your sleeves are poking out, right, from your suit, that implies you have expensive taste and you have a lot of money, right? So niggas don't understand that. Niggas only understand when you have Gucci across your chest. But he said, listen, that's what niggas understand. He said a lot of, people will understand differently, right? And again, if we're talking boule, it's just about wealthy people, right? And it's classism. And why is it that black Americans want to be in the lower class? Give me 1 second. Cat, get the fuck out. I gotta lock this cat. I thought I locked her in the room. The cat done opened the door. Hold on, y'all. Let me give this cat some attention because he want to be. What up, underrated? Oh, this cat is running now. Come here. Come here. I'm locking you in the. Come, oh, Jesus, come. Fucking cat, come here. Say hi to the world, Graham Cracker. Say hi. Okay, you're interrupting my live stream. Say hi, Graham Cracker. All right. Now I'm gonna put you in the room so I can cook my food. And like I said, the Boule is a certain level of black folk, right? But like I said, Kevin Samuels wasn't talking to the dudes who wear Gucci across our chest, right? Prime example, I was doing real estate in New York City with a Greek guy. He wore good morning, Malika. He wore some Malika, hopefully you got my email. You should I saw you sign the documents, so I sent you a copy of your policy. Hopefully you got it. I didn't see any response, so I want to make sure. Um but so this guy, we gotta see. Okay, good thing. We got to see as a people that being elite, there's nothing wrong with being elite, right? And do you think that what the Boule are lizard people or whatever it is, even if that's the case, the Boule would be the black version of the powers that be. So why would we not want elites, right? But it seems like we're the only culture that doesn't want elites. You see, India has a caste system. They've got their Brahmins, right? That's all right, Malika. I just wanted to make sure you got it because I've been busy too. I've been having a lot of clients deal with a lot of stuff, holidays and stuff. But this is actually the best time to get all that stuff taken care of, because it just it'll end up hanging over your head too much later on in the year if you wait, right? So at any rate, the Boule is something that we should actually probably decide to foster more and be like, hey, these are the folks that you should really want to be like. These are the folks that you know these are the folks that are our elites. These are the folks that are our money people. These are the folks that we want to emulate. Why? Because these are the folks that got to that bag, right? And I'm not talking about people like, oh, Diddy, right? And Diddy sold his soul to the devil and all that. No, I'm not talking about that, right? But let's look at some of our elites, right? And we don't have a shit ton of them. But there's a bunch of billionaires who are Black Americans who didn't become billionaires behind a microphone. Meaning they weren't rapping, right? Or dancing or entertaining people, right? Robert Smith, right? Byron Allen, right? These are Black men who are our elite Black men. These are the business class Black men. But it seems like as a whole, Black folk don't want that, right? And this I'm not just placing on the men's head. Women are the same thing. Let me turn this temperature down to 350. Right? Women are the same thing, right? Because the Black women devalue the Black men in a lot of instances. Now, is it easy? Yeah, but all Black women are doing, basically, when they're doing that, is reinvigorating feminism. You'll laugh when I hear, I'll give you an example. I have a relative, a young, privileged white woman, whose father is, public enemy number one. He's a heterosexual, rich white man who has a company, lots of money, right? But he also afforded this lily white girl all sorts of comforts in life, right? So much so to the fact where she's in her mid 40s and he's paying her mortgage for her lesbian wife. We had a conversation. You know what she said? Oh, rich white men are so evil. Bitch, what? How are rich white men evil when all you do is benefit from rich white men? So Black men when we don't even have our women exactly benefiting from us being rich and powerful, and they're complaining about us, don't feel bad because you have women who literally benefit. This woman's daddy is a rich white man, right? He ironically enough works in my field, financial services. He's part of the reason I got into financial services because when I met him, I was like, damn, y'all niggas rich. He was like, yeah, financial services. You have no clue, no idea the money that's in insurance. And these motherfuckers is buying leasing Audis for 4 people every 2 years. Trash, right? So this isn't just some like BS where motherfuckers was just broke, right? And she's blaming rich white men for all her issues, even though rich white men are financing everything she's got going on. So I say all that to say this. If a privileged white woman is going to gripe about her man, so much so that her daddy allowed her to become a lesbian, he's still financing everything. He is that evil rich white man she's talking about. And yet she's talking about him like he's truly evil. What chance, black man, especially when as black men, I ain't the Boule, I ain't none of that. Do we think? I said I want to benefit from rich white men. I don't blame you, Malika, right? But this girl definitely benefits from rich white men. She's a rich white girl. And like I said, if they're complaining about their men, then what chance, black men, when we don't control institutions, we don't control industries, right? Black men, we don't control criminality. What do I mean when I say that? We always talk about this gangster shit, right? And as much as we talk about this gangster shit, what's the biggest gang in the United States? And before we go with the police, that's not a gang. Biggest gang in the United States happens to be a Mexican gang. It's not the Mexican Mafia either. There's a gang called 13th Street. So 13th Street gang, which has serious beef with the Mexican Mafia, is one of the biggest gangs in the country. But when I asked some dudes over at the Solar Vision Debate League, which is intellectual black men, see, I'm not just going to tear up these dudes who are over here crying about Keisha. I'm going to talk about the dudes who's over there crying about white supremacy did it. It's the white man who made it hard for me. That's what you sound like, bro. No shit, the white man made it hard for you. Know why? Because you're a fucking man. And you know what you look like to him? Fucking competition. So you know what he's going to do? Wipe out the competition. You know what I would do if I was a white man? Wipe out the competition. You know what I would do if I was a black man in position of power like the white men are? Wipe out the competition. I'd put my knee on their neck. I wouldn't make it easy for motherfuckers to exist. Why should I? Why would I want to give up my position of power? Right? Doesn't make sense. Yet you've got dudes running around, oh man, white supremacy, man. Listen, first of all, I don't believe in white supremacy. Because a true supremacist wants his opponent at their apex best and or with an advantage over him. So when he dominates them, he can truly show his superiority. Y'all don't hear me, though. Y'all ain't hearing me. Or if you hear me, you're not listening. Right? When he truly dominates, he's showing his true superiority. Right? What do black men usually do in every industry we get into? Dominate. With a disadvantage. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of white people who also don't believe in white supremacy. Because just like black people be like, yo, you giving us all a bad name, you giving us all a bad look. White people feel similar about white people who support shit like white supremacy. They be like, bro, you giving us all a bad name here. You're making us all look bad. Right? If you'll notice, I put no doubt. If you'll notice, I put in my panel yesterday in my chat name, Glocktavius. Right? Why did I do that? Because that's what we end up looking like often. Right? Why is it that we'd rather be Glocktavius than Byron Allen? Right? Do we even know really that much about Byron Allen? Right? Oh, you don't have a wrench? Hold on, let me go to the YouTube and get you a wrench. Hold on, let me grab my other phone and go to my YouTube and get you a wrench. Hold up. I can't believe you don't have a wrench. Let me see. I can't believe you don't have a wrench. Let's see. All right, cool. Now you got a wrench. There's cheese in here. Ugh. Making me some scrambled eggs and cheese and sausage. I need to get me another slice of cheese for this. But a lot of black dudes are no doubt underrated. You know, I gotta make sure my people is right in here, right? But like I said, I'm gonna pick on dudes from all walks because yes, there's a lot to be said about the women, but this is a man's world, right? And I'm gonna be honest, right? Literally yesterday, I had a homeboy who was outside. Unfortunately, the brother's now homeless. He had a falling out with his wife. You know, he left or she put him out. He ain't got nowhere to go. He lost his job. He's homeless. He's hungry. He's broke. Right? He's fucked up in the game. I saw him yesterday. He was damn near crying. He was like, yo, I can't take this, bro. I'm stressed out. I ain't got no money. I ain't been able to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't eaten in 2 days. He was in tears. I was like, damn, brother, I'm sorry. I wish I could help you. But you're a grown-ass man. As a grown-ass man, nobody's got nothing for you. So let me tell you, as another man, I ain't got nothing for you, bro. I got a wife. If you was a female, I might have had some compassion. Why? Because as a man, I could do some dirty things. I could be like, hey, well, you know, you need a place to stay. What you gonna do for a place to stay? Right? Like I said, I'm unorthodox. It might be uncomfortable to hear, but it's the reality. A bunch of men do this. A bunch of men are sick perverts. Right? Hey, girl, you need a place to stay. You need your rent paid. I got you. Right? But as a man, ain't none of that. I ain't paying your rent, homeboy. Because ain't nothing you got that I want. Right? You got the same parts I got, bro. So for me, it's a no-brainer. No, sir. I ain't about to mess with you on nothing. So, as a grown-ass man, I ain't got shit for you, sir. I'm sorry. I hope for the best. Listen, if I can help you, I will. Right? So I understand where it's difficult to come together in unity as black men. Right? I get it. Because we're all in survival mode. But I always mention that in 2017, right? Simultaneously, we had 31,000 Sikh men enter into the trucking industry. 31,000 at the same time. Simultaneously. All at once. All in togetherness. Right? We got people like MOT trying to teach all about trucking. Don't nobody want to hear it. Or if you do get into trucking, I got to do this solo dolo. I'm gonna do this all by myself. Okay. So while you're doing this solo dolo all by yourself, you realize you ain't getting no help from your people. You're getting no support. And then you're gonna turn around and try and shit on your people. Oh nigga, I got this job on my own. I did this shit on my own. I make $100,000. Great. You make $100,000. What about your community? Your community ain't making jack. So that means that, like dominoes, the higher up, the less of you there are. So that's kind of a problem. Well, why is that a problem? Because the less of you that there are, that means that you get less leverage in them important rooms, right? In them important spaces, right? Them boardrooms. You know why I nicknamed myself Glocktavius the other day? One, because I went and bought my first Glock, right? Glock 48 MOS, which is basically a smaller version of a Glock 19. But also because that's the nickname. Like I said, that's the nickname that the white guys gave us, Glocktavius. That's the nickname that they use. We want to talk about gender war stuff all day. We're concerned more about that BS than worrying about building and doing for ourselves. Ain't that the truth, Black American television? Right? That's why I'm sitting here talking about the Black Boule. Because we act as if having the Black Boule, a class of elite blacks, is a bad thing. Nah, man, them Boule. So are the Boule white supremacists too? Right? Are we saying that the Boule don't have our interest at hand? Right? Why? Because they're rich black folks? See, anything that has to do with getting well off for black folks in America seems to be intertwined with white supremacy. But again, I told you, as a supremacist, you want your opponents to have an advantage against you, so that when you dominate them, like black men tend to do in everything that we get into, what's going on, Sheep Stay Sleep? We can actually have that. Shout out to Sheep Stay Sleep. Sheep Stay Sleep, you got a wrench, bro? Let me make sure you got a wrench, right? I'm on, let me know, because I'm on StreamYard, so I can't tell. But we're running away from being elite, right? And now, shout out to Sheep Stay Sleep, because in terms of elite, it's not just about money. Right? A lot of it, like Sheep Stay Sleep said, is, you know, it has to do with spiritual value, right? So yeah, the Boule is a secret society, but it's no different than the Indians and Brahmins, high class. We want to look at Cliff Huxtable and his wife as Boule, successful black people, right? They don't always have to be scheming against us, right? Now, maybe you want to say, oh, they're Boule because they're getting accepted into these spaces with white people. And I disagree. I think what we can do is create our own spaces. We have the talented 10th, right? Yeah, we do. Now, right? Shout out to Sheep Stay Sleep, right? Addressing black men. Do you want to be a gangster or you want to be a black man? Because you can't be a king and a gangster. You can't be a king and a pimp. If y'all was watching Sheep Stay Sleep yesterday, he was dropping gems on y'all. Right? You can't serve two masters at the same time. You can't work two shifts for two different jobs at the same time. I can't work 9 to 5 here at Stop and Shop and 9 to 5 across town at Walmart. It's just impossible. I can only be one place at a time. Right? Henny guy, what's going on? So maybe the fear of the Boule is we think it's a negative spiritual connotation, but we also have had some things backwards, like Uncle Tom, right? Let me tell you what's crazy. I was on the panel. Well, not on the panel. I was on a live stream. And a lot of gentlemen from the Black Manosphere are familiar with this guy due to people like, or not just the Black Manosphere, but a lot of Black YouTube, due to people like Erica Williams, sharing this guy, white guy by the name of Aaron Clary. Well, he does this thing called asshole consulting. But it's funny, him and the other white guy, they were talking about Uncle Joe Biden. And then the next thing they came up with was, well, yeah, what about Uncle Obama? Say what you want about what he did. The optics of it, especially in the future, are going to be first Black president pioneered for people. But it can also be flipped just like the Uncle Tom was. See, Uncle Tom was not Sambo. Sambo wanted to whip niggas. Sambo told on the slaves to escape him. Did Uncle Tom purchase and own slaves? Yep. A lot of Black people purchased and owned slaves. You know why? Because they bought them to their freedom. Right? If we want to talk about history, you don't think Frederick Douglass or Harriet Tubman or those of the like were Boule? You don't think that secret society was just, let's get rich and fuck everybody else? It may have morphed into what we perceive that as. But look at what, it's been covered over our eyes. So Black America, that's partially true. Now, Black women, yes, the AKAs did start the first Black credit union, credit for that. Black women are starting businesses 6 times faster, but they're not starting scalable businesses. They're starting lifestyle businesses. Unfortunately, a lot of Black people are starting useless businesses. What they do is they start LLCs that are one-man operation. Technically, are business. However, most businesses in the first, if you're not profitable 3 out of 5 of their first years in operation, you're now a hobby, which is what happens. I'm not diminishing Black women, but when we mention these statistics, we have to be accurate. Next statistic we need to be accurate on is that Black women are the highest educated. JP, what's going on? How's your spirit? That they're the highest educated group in America. That's false. The reality is they are substantially higher educated than their male counterparts. Substantially. Black women blow Black men away when it comes to schooling. Nothing wrong with that. Most Black men throughout our childhood are not geared towards schooling, right? Not even from our parents. Boy, you better get out there and bounce this ball. You're going to buy me a house in 30 years or 20 years, right? So what happens is they end up the highest mired in debt, right? Why? Because they end up getting degrees, and I'm not going to say underwater basket weaving degrees, because people who diminish an underwater basket weaving degree don't understand how the job market works or have never employed people. All that a degree tells me is that you can take orders. and follow rules, right? That's why 50 Cent said, no, I don't have a college degree, but everybody that works for me does. Because that's all a college degree says, is that you can take in and regurgitate information, right? So now, back to the Boule. We're an elite class, and a lot of black women are probably Boule and would be more comfortable. You don't think AKAs don't want to be Boule, right? We know AKAs are down to be Boule. Dr. Mark, what's going on in the building, right? We know AKAs are Boule, right? I tried, my wife did not want to be an AKA. But since a child, I've been an uppity nigga, and I've loved AKAs. My wife doesn't actually fit the style of an AKA. Black parents tell their sons to get jobs and stay out the prison system. They tell black women to go to school and get an education. A lot of this is our parents' fault. It is. Because they definitely tell the boys, yo, go get a job, go to work. And they tell the girls what they need to be telling the boys. You'll see men in these spaces who say that, you know, it's better for an older man to date a younger woman. And generally for what a younger woman needs, that's true. Right? Now, what I mean, they tell black men, or I'm sorry, they tell black women, keep your head in the books. The boys will be there when you get out of school. That's what they need to tell the boys. Keep your head in the books. The girls will be there when you get out of school. Right? I'm at peace, face. I can't say it. I got you. I totally understand that, JPM. But do we really even have organized blackness? If you want to be honest, right? So my sense of the Boule is, again, they're the elite, and we should want to be or have a class of the elite. Jay-Z has a lot of money, but Jay-Z likely would not be Boule. Now, Jay-Z today would definitely be invited to join the Boule because he's out of the public eye. What do I mean by that? You notice the more and more money him and Beyonce get, the less and less you start to see them. Right? The bigger and bigger he grows, the smaller and smaller your vision of him is. The less you get to see him. So it goes to show that there is probably some reality and some existence in this. But again, just like Black American TV said, black women are starting businesses 6 times faster than men. So we have an issue in Black America where we're not creating enough jobs. Because black women, I know a lot of black women who are business owners, but they're more self-employed than a business owner, right? They are an LLC. They have to file corporate taxes. They can take all the write-offs. But they're not exactly a business. They're not scalable. They can't hire people. They can't replicate their process. So if they go down, the business goes down. What we need is more scalable businesses. Well, this is true. It doesn't provide the brain function for success. But the main thing it does is it provides the access, right? JPM, I'll give you a prime example. Hundreds of years ago during the settlers, in order to, or in England, in order to gain status in the military, you could purchase your status in the military. So if I wanted to be a brigadier general, I could purchase my status in the military. Now you would say, well, if a person's well off and they've got all this money. I don't know that I just want them buying their way into the military, because how are they going to lead men? Well, they've had access, and this is what having money does. It gives you access to things that the average person can't get. Prime example, we wonder why Black America is in a whole heap of trouble. We wonder why Black America is concerned with the 80,000 new hires that the IRS had. And it's only like a 10-year thing. So it's only like 8,000 new hires a year for the next 10 years, right? But why is it? To crack down on tax avoidance or tax issues. Well, you would get the respect or the loyalty, right? And again, the reason you would get the respect or the loyalty back in those days, not today, is because you generally learned about things, right? So you learned about military because you had the wealth to go to the schooling that would allow you to learn militaristic tactics while not having to be involved in military war. Number one. Number two, people are respecters of money. How do I know? Because people used to look at me like I'm shit. Then next thing you know, the moment because I was walking around in financial services for years without a car because I didn't have a driver's license. So then in May, when I got my driver's license, I jumped out the window with a brand new Benz in June. People were like, damn, I thought you were broke. You really got it. Yo, I need to sit down with you. I've been saying this for quite some time, but now the money shows that I have the experience. Now, I'm not saying that it will exactly purchase it today, but people are respecters of money. This is why folks who are rich get a lot of free shit. Oh, that's Jay-Z. You could eat at my restaurant for free. Because we know that Jay-Z saying my restaurant is good will get a lot of other people to be like, well, if Jay-Z eats there, I can eat there. Right? So having that money buys you status. That status is what buys you respect and or admiration. But outside of that, one of the things, especially with Black boys, that we're not teaching us enough is, and actually, this is funny, Black Information just said it. We're not raising our Black boys to be leaders. There's no men in our houses, so we get a lot of these Black girls being raised by their moms, and so are Black boys. So the conflict stays right there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I'm going to talk about that in a second, but before I go to that, I want to look at the fact that I gotta go get me something to drink. I want like a juice or something. I might go get me a hot tea. I might make my own hot tea. But if you look at the fact that a lot of Black boys are led towards STEM, even though we don't go through the schooling, right? Science, technology, engineering, and math, right? Now, if you really want, because the difficulty is school, here's why Black men don't excel in traditional schooling, right? And here's why Black women do excel in traditional schooling, at least the way it's set up. Men are pioneers. Men are meant to go out there and conquer and explore and bump our heads and shit like that, right? White, Black, whatever. This is men. So school becomes very boring to sit down in this, sterile environment that doesn't do much for us. It doesn't bring inspiration, right? Now, what would be better for Black men as opposed to STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math? Well, let's look at something that you don't need a college degree for. You might need a certification or a little bit of training, right? But you don't need a collegiate degree. It can often be hands-on, right? And apparently that's what Black men like, is a lot of hands-on work. So seeing as that's what Black men like is hands-on work, right? We like to put our hands in the dirt or actually touch and feel what it is we're doing or learning. Then why don't, instead of STEM being science, and there's a bunch of Black men in this space who run around talking about STEM, 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 but simultaneously talk about the fact that Black boys' reading level is at the 4th grade. So you're not really going to get into science, technology, engineering, and math with a 4th grade reading level or comprehension level, right? So, what do we do for STEM for black men? Well, instead of science, technology, engineering, and math, what about sales, trucking, equipment, and maintenance? Right? And I'll throw a bonus in there for your HVAC. Right? We don't think that those are good business fields for black men to be in. Is that what it is? Because I think those are excellent for black men, if you ask me. Right? Because right now, again, that's superiority conflict, right? So if black men really were to come into some shit, black media, we'd probably dominate, right? And as I said, if I'm the powers that be, I'm not going to put anything in position to take me out of being the power that be. All right, it's just that wouldn't be a sound, business move, right? Now, why aren't there more things to help black men or black boys? I'm not sure. There's a bunch of stuff to help and support black women or black girls. Where my girl's tea kettle go, right? But that comes from a lot of black fathers, right? There's a lot of black dads out there. So there's a lot of dudes who are on it because we realize that as black men, we're probably the most manly men there are. Why? Because like I said, the reason that there's nothing out there for black boys is because we're men. And as a man, ain't nobody got nothing for you. Right? A lot of these dudes who talk about how rough women are on men, you should see how rough men are on men. I'll give you an example. A lot of these dudes are leading you dudes astray to cry about Keisha so they got a better shot at Keisha. Not so you got a better outcome or you get a better outlook, but it's so that my shot, when I shoot my shot at Keisha, you ain't shooting your shot at Keisha. Right? I'm not going to say their names, but a lot of you watching know exactly who I'm talking about. Right? A lot of these guys, and they have collegiate degrees, some of these guys. So some of these guys are not just collegiate, but doctorate degrees. Right? A lot of these guys have doctorate level degrees. So you mean to tell me that you're a whole PhD and you can't figure out women? Okay, no problem. A lot of people can't figure out women, but you can't figure out how to teach the next man what your issue is, because your issue ain't about black boys reading at the 4th grade level. Because if it was, you'd have done something. Your issue is, let me make it about the young black men. No, it's your issue is that your dick is dry. Right? I was trying to be PC, but fuck it. I gotta be me. Like Dr. Mark said, be you. And if they don't like it, fuck them. Right? Because you're right, they don't want to, because they got dry dicks. And that's what their issue is. Their issue is that they have dry dicks and they want you to have a dry dick with them. Right? But see, I don't sound PC saying that shit. Right? If I was like, oh, the reason y'all mad is because y'all got dry dicks. Don't get me wrong. I told y'all in high school I was a where's my hug at ass nigga. I was one of them dudes. Where's my hug at, girl? Jealous because you was letting Pookie smash it. Right? You was letting Pookie smash it. But you wasn't letting me smash it. And I was jealous. Why didn't you let me smash? You let Pookie smash. Right? But I'll be honest. What it is, and this is for a lot of black men, we are over-sexualized. Ourselves, we over-sexualize. Why? Because there's no fucking reason that a 30-plus-year-old man yes, 30 plus, should be having a fucking hissy fit over a woman, giving him some sex. Oh, what am I getting out the deal? You know how hard it is to be a husband? For real? No doubt underrated. I'm getting ready to hop off in a little bit. I'm about to go get my smoke on. But I'm gonna stay with y'all live while I'm getting ready to go do that because when I'm toking and smoking and talking, I gets to going. I'm gonna be doing more lives like this. I'm gonna be talking less financial shit for a while, just because this type of stuff needs to be addressed. And I can't really talk the financial shit that I want to until the audience gets there, right? And they're gonna get there eventually. We all get there in our own time, right? But damn, that breakfast was good. Scrambled eggs, nice couple sausage patties. Slapping. I was gonna have bacon, but I prefer sausage over bacon, to be honest. Right? But you look at the fact that, again, the real reason these guys are fucked up in the game is because they ain't Boule. They ain't high class, right? They're not that high level man that Kevin Samuels was talking about. Because again, it all boils down to, she says, a lot of black men are jealous of married black men because they had somebody and they don't. They will call you a simp in a minute if you're married. Oh, yeah, I'm all sorts of simp and blue pill and all that. Listen, I've learned about that. You know what I say to those dudes? Yeah, I'm a simp, but I'm not looking for sympathy from other grown men. Right? See, and me and Kay, business podcast, will joke on each other all the time. The other day, my wife had a dinner at work that I wasn't invited to, or a lunch at work that I wasn't invited to, because it was her work. But she needed some money for the party because she didn't get paid yet. So she asked, "Hey, can I borrow some money to go, do my work party?" So I was like, "Sure." So I went to the bank and I got her some money. And here goes Kay. "Oh man, you a simp. How dare you go get money for your wife? And she made you walk to the bank. You didn't even drive." And I say, "Yeah, I'm such a super simp. She made me walk all the way to the bank. I couldn't even drive to the bank, right? What's going on, Queena?" So when we look at those situations, though, right, we got to realize that sales, trucking, equipment, and maintenance are definitely things that black men can get into that can increase our value, that can increase our income. Now, again, there's a lot that goes to it. It's not just money. We have to have spiritual value. We have to have mental capacity. But one thing that makes that a lot easier is having the access to things. So the finances will open us up to access to stuff. Once we get access to stuff, now, maybe we buy some land. Maybe with that land, we've got money so that we can build some houses, right? Now, maybe first we stack up, we buy some land. All right, boom. Now we got some land. We got to find somebody who knows how to cultivate this land. Well, before we find somebody who knows how to cultivate this land, we got to find a brother who knows how to build property so that he could build us buildings so that we can have somewhere to stay to cultivate this land and live off the grid, right? Like all those fucking jail dudes, those jail black dudes, the black dudes who've been in jail for 12 years. "Listen, man, I'm sovereign. I know about the UCC, the Uniform Commercial Code. I'm a Moor, man. I'm sovereign. You don't need no driver's license." Oh, let me make a check in your name. What is your name? El Haj Malik Shabay? No, Jonathan Cartwright. Oh, I thought your name was El Haj Malik Shabay. Motherfucking liar. But no, man, I'm sovereign. You can't be a sovereign citizen without a sovereign nation. So if you have no nation state behind you, Mr. Hebrew Israelite, you are not fucking sovereign. Sovereignty implies that you have a nation state behind you and that you're not living by the rules of this land. But you guys are living by the rules of this land of America, because you go back to your house or apartment that's on the grid of America, right? It's not like America, which is sovereign in other places. They have land in other places, but guess what? When we take that land and we build the U.S. embassy, that's our shit. That's why you have the rights of a United States citizen in another country when you're on the U.S. embassy, right? Can't make it up, bro. You can't. This is the shit that really black men are saying, right? So let's pull together. Let's actually create that nation state, right? Let's stop these fake ass B1 hustlers who are just race baiters and want to sell you some fucking incense, right? Because that's what them niggas do. Hey, man, I got these here beads. I got this here latest Tariq Nasheed movie, right? That's all they got. I got the latest Tariq Nasheed movie, Hidden Color 72. When we talk about the same shit over and over again, we don't come up with solutions. Prince Pierre, what's going on, man? Hey, I gotta get with you later today. Either give me a call later on, or I'll give you a call later on. We gotta chat, brother. But you know, we look at this shit and we're like, he says, we talked about lease and own. Yes, we did talk about leasing and owning. And Brother Underrated came up with one of the best analogies I think I've ever heard. He was like, here's the problem, black man. I was like, what's the problem? Says, we don't own power. We lease it. What do you mean? We don't own power. We lease power. I said, what do you mean? He said, listen, when it comes to power, black men, we do not own power. We lease power. So we buy the power for a short period of time. All right, I know I got this power, and I got this power for a couple of years, right? And I can only use it for a couple of hours a week each year, right? But we lease power. We don't own power. Because if we own power, right, motherfuckers wouldn't have their knees on our neck. Oh, did we forget about the fact that motherfuckers got their knees on our neck? And I do not mean literally. I mean figuratively. But in the case of George Floyd, literally. You don't think there's a reason they had their knee on their neck? Let me say something about Israel right now. This shit'll get shut down. But let an Israeli say something about black people right now, nothing will happen. Is that the fault of the black woman? No. Why? Because the black woman ain't supposed to be a warrior. She ain't supposed to be on the battlefield, right? We got her there, right? But she's not supposed to be there. Right? So, what's going on, boss? So how are we as black men gonna say that we want to run shit when we letting our women run shit? Right? Now, don't get me wrong. Because on the chessboard, the woman, the queen, does all the movement. Right? But, see, what happens is, a lot of niggas talk about chess, but they don't understand chess, right? Because, see, you niggas is still playing chess. I've been playing backgammon for the past few decades. The real game of kings. Right? Y'all niggas still playing chess. Let me break down to you chess. Because niggas always love to use the chessboard. Oh, well, you know, the woman gets the queen gets to move anywhere she wants on the board. She's the most powerful piece. No, the king is still the most powerful piece. Right? I'm going to tell you how the king is still the most powerful piece. Number one, when you capture the king, right? Number two, everybody's goal is to capture the king. You could kill the queen, you could kill all the pawns until the king is dead. Uh, if you just to let you know that if you let me run it, I will run off with it. That's no problem, Malika. Right? But what I'm saying is this, right? The queen is the most mobile piece on the chessboard. But everybody completely misses the fact about why. So everyone, champions and contenders, right? I want you to start asking why to a bunch of shit, right? And I'm gonna flip this back to finance in a second because you know I always like to put my insurance talk in there, right? But it says too many got a job. There are no jobs for black men. Black men need to. Yes, yes, this right here, right? We need to create our own jobs. And I'm not talking about, don't go give me a pack. Don't, oh, here's a brick of cocaine. Go sell some cocaine. You know, I had a grown ass man who was 49 years old ask me for $75 so he could go get some cocaine to sell. I'm from the streets for real. I used to deal with cocaine sales. I used to be a cocaine salesman. I was not very good at it, so I stopped that shit real quick. I was not built for that type of shit. I was like, oh, these niggas, wait, they shoot got this was before I got shot, but I had got shot at. He says, oh yeah, no. I know the US gave Israel power. Right? But Israel took that power. What do I mean? Say something about Israel right now. Watch what they do. Right? I'll give you another one. Because they're against Israel. Let's look at Palestine. Say something about Palestine right now. Go to especially in New York. Go to Aki's corner store and say something left about Palestinians. Watch how you motherfucker, my country. 9/11, motherfucker. But see, what do you get from black men? From black men, you don't get shit until it's, hey nigga, you stepped on my J's. Fuck is wrong with you, nigga? You know how much I paid for these Jordans? These basketball sneakers that don't make me jump? Right? That's what we on. Right? Oh shit, let me turn my radio off. Let's look at the disrespect that we allow other motherfuckers to give to our women. Right? You know it, black American TV. You know them, you motherfucker! I get the AK and shoot you. What we call them, sand niggas? Right? Yeah. He says, that's a fact. The why is all that matters in the finality of it all, and is the only thing that we have a right to discuss. So I want to get back to that why, right, with the chessboard. So why is it that the queen can move with full autonomy? It's because of the king, right? So when they sit here and you're a man and you're quote unquote serving your wife, because see, I'm gonna get down to some shit today. Man is the prize, is what we say, right? The man is the prize. Well, the prize generally wants a prize, and what's the prize for the man is the woman. I know people like to dispel that happy wife, happy life, because they're like, oh, that no, it's happy spouse, happy house. How do you get a happy spouse? Well, I'm gonna tell you as a married man how I get a happy spouse, how I become happy. right? Because I didn't pick my wife on some bullshit. I picked my wife as my partner for life. So with that, guess what makes me happy? Making her happy. Y'all don't hear me though. I said, as a husband, as a man, as the king of my castle, you know what makes me happy? Making my wife happy. Let me give it to you men the other way. You black men. Because a lot of you black men are married, but a lot of black men who are running around here with all this crying shit aren't. So let me explain to you how it's like. Because a lot of you black men without wives do have kids. Right? So what makes you real proud and happy as a dad? Man, I was able to get my son that new car. I was able to get my daughter them new roller skates. I was able to get my daughter a new car. I was able to pay for my daughter to go to college. I was able to pay the rent for my daughter. Feels good, right? I was able to buy my baby whatever the fuck she wanted. Daddy, I want this. Here you go, angel. Here you go, princess. Daddy, I want that too. Okay, baby. Daddy, I want this, that, and the third. Okay, baby. You got it. So now you're grooming her to expect that from her mate. Now, again, I have to go bring this to the Boule because it's a class system thing. Because, again, in a lot of black YouTube, we like to compare black and white folks. And we act like white folks got it all together. Listen, they don't. And there's a lot more of them that don't have it together than there are of us that don't have it together. The difference is there's substantially more of them in this country than there are of us. Let me give you guys some numbers. Approximately 42 million Americans that identify as white are on government assistance. Approximately 42 million Americans equals about 20% of the population of white America. Approximately 43 million Americans identify as black in America. So in essence, 20% of their population, which is fucked up and on government assistance, is equal to 100% of the population of black Americans. So a lot of you B-word dudes who talk that race war shit ain't buy your way into the military. You've been too busy battling on the ground with the niggas from that other hood, where the numbers are pretty much equal. I take one of yours, you take one of mine, I take one of yours, you take one of mine, we down to 15 each. But see, again, like I said, 20% of their population is equivalent to 100% of our population. See, when I talk about shit, I like to talk about it from the why. So now let's flip this into life insurance real quick. You know, I'm going to flip my lessons in there, right? Because I had a client the other day who I was talking to. Y'all might have heard me talking to her. And unfortunately, she was a client of Primerica. And their motto is to buy term life insurance. And I said, well, you know, term life insurance isn't always the best investment. Now, there's always a need for life insurance, period. And if anybody tells you any different, life insurance, number one reason for the number one purpose of life insurance is the death benefit. That's the number one purpose. Don't let anybody tell you different, including me, and I sell the shit. Now I sell it off of the fact of death benefit, but that's the number one purpose of life insurance is to pass down the death benefit. That doesn't mean it's the number one most important purpose, but it is the number one purpose. That's why life insurance was created. Right? But now, she was pissed off at Primerica and the agents who put her into it because they were like, oh, it's term. And I explained to her that 99% of term life insurance does not pay out. And she was mad. And she was like, well, why would I put that? Why would they put that on me? And I had to explain to her why. Because a lot of agents like me will say, oh, well, term insurance only pays out 99% of the time. You shouldn't get term insurance. And that's pure D bullshit. You see, I'm a good salesperson. I'm actually good at what I do. So I can tell you the absolute fucking truth. Oh, yeah. No doubt. Underrated. I would definitely be there. But so the reason why term insurance only pays out 99% of the time. One, because most people outlive it, right? If you got a 20-year term in the year 2003, guess what? It's 2023. Your term insurance is done. You don't have life insurance anymore. Right? See, when I first started selling this shit almost 15 years ago, I didn't have the ability to be like, oh, 20 years ago, because I was 25. Now I'm 40. I can say 20 years ago and remember shit. But what's the other reason? Well, reason number two, they cancel it. Because the first thing that goes when you're running on the hard times is things that you consider a useless bill. Be like, do I want to cancel cable or this insurance? Well, cable, I got to put the kids in front of Coco Melon every morning so I can get ready for work. So I can't cut off cable. So you know what? I'm paying $100 a month for this life insurance. I need this $100 right now. Times is tough. The rent got to be paid. Boom. What's the other reason? A major reason that term life insurance doesn't pay out is because it gets converted from term policies to a whole life policy. So you could have term insurance, and during that term, you can turn it to whole life. So that goes to, again, a lot of the reason why is it, and I want to ask you this question. I'll save that for your panel, underrated. But why is it that black men, I'm not going to say just black people as a whole, but specifically black men, right? Because we want to lead this shit. Why is it that we lease power? Why do we not want to own power? And I'll give you an example of leasing power versus owning power. Michael Jordan purchased the Charlotte Hornets some years ago. He didn't own it for 30 years yet because he retired in 2002, the year before LeBron came into the league, ironically enough. Right? But black men lease power instead of owning it, like Michael Jordan. He purchased the Charlotte Hornets, didn't own them for 30 years, and then sold it for $2 billion. The Jordan family, yeah, $2 billion will last a long time. Don't get me wrong. You're not going to run through $2 billion in a week, right? That's a couple of generations of wealth, right? Even if they spend $100 million a year for the next 20 years, I think that's $2 billion, right? But yeah, actually, I think it's $100 million a year for 20 years, $2 billion, I believe. So That would be the $2 billion. So they're pretty good. But $100 million in their lifestyle is easy to spend. Right? Now, let's look at someone like not even the Modell family, but let's look at Odig Power. Let's look at the owners of the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Heinz family. Oh, yeah, you mean the owners of Heinz Ketchup own the Pittsburgh Steelers? Yes. Michael Jordan sold the Hornets for $2 billion. And we all like, yeah, that's a come up. Yeah, he's good. Oh, my God. You don't know no power. Because now you ain't in them rooms no more again. So now when we're talking all this Black Lives Matter bullshit, right? Your black ass ain't there on the board of owners to represent your personal interests, right? The cultural differences, right? There might be slight cultural differences that motherfuckers who are white don't understand because they don't live your culture. Now, yes, I understand about classism. That's why I said the Black Boule, and Michael Jordan is a perfect example because he can't relate to the average black person. Or yeah, look at the Rudies, right? Look at the Modells, owners of what? The Cleveland Browns, or is it the Baltimore Ravens? No, it's the Browns. It was the Ravens, or no, it was the Browns, and now it's the Ravens, right? We already know Arthur Blank and the owner of the Raiders, right? But they own athletic teams and then they own other shit. The WNBA is a tax write-off for the NBA. You don't think so? The WNBA has been running at a $10 million loss since inception, annually. So every year, they've been losing $10 million since they started. And they get funded by the NBA. So that's been that fuck up. But as black men, we want to lease the power. We don't want to be like Arthur Blank. We don't want to be like the Modells. We don't want to be like what the fuck, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Why can't I think of his name? Uh fuck. Jerry God, why can't I think of his name now? The owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Uh I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of his name. Well, you know the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones, thank you. You don't think that that's going to stay in the Jones family for another at least 50 years? You don't think he's thinking about his great grandkids? Let's see. If I had my first kid at 25, my son had his first kid at 30, his kid had his first kid at 17, his kid will have his first kid at 25. Yeah, I'll leave about 8 generations of money. A generation is 20 years. So remember, $2 billion is $100 million a year for 20 years. Or did we forget that Michael Jordan has a mansion that's still under his ownership that he's been having for sale for the last decade, that he still has to pay $3 million a year in them taxes? $100 million a year lifestyle. Oh, you don't think shit's getting cheaper, do you? Because now people with less money are having access to more stuff. What's up, Enya? Generational wealth, but something that JPam said earlier. It's not just the money, it's also the knowledge. You gotta have generational knowledge. So you gotta be able to pass that down. Right? Hold on, let me. So you gotta be able to pass that down. Right? from one generation to the next. It's not just getting the money, but what do you do with it when you get it? Right? So I think that's what the diminishment of the Boule is. Because everybody seems to want to be Boule, but not. We got a Alpha Kappa Alpha, Mu Psi Mu. I'm a Greek, I'm a Greek. So you want to be all these other organizations. Then you claim to be pro-black, but the one secret organization that was supposedly created solely by and for blacks, you shun that. Make it make sense. Right? You don't think the Asians want to separate from the Asian elite, right? Oh, you think I'm lying? Well, there was a whole fucking movie created called Crazy Rich Asians. There ain't no movie called Crazy Rich Niggas. There ain't no movie called Black People with Money. There's 12 Years a Slave. There's Massa gonna keep on whooping on us. But I showed y'all with that article from Dr. Michael Ralph that life insurance came from slavery. And Josiah C. Knott wrote back in 1847 about slave insurance. And that it would be stupid to whip your slave to death and beat him and put him in a fucking vault and shit. Why? Because that's money. You don't think that they treated slaves kind of like athletes? Hey, listen, man. That LeBron, hey, man, he got through 13 bales of cotton, 42 assists. He brought 14 buckets because he's getting them buckets. He brought 14 buckets of water. You know, all in 38 minutes. We got to breed that nigga. Go get Sukiana. Sukiana. Come here, Sukiana. Come here, Suki. Suki. See, they treat us like fucking animals. Livestock. Yeah, they're going to brand their cow, but they ain't beating their cow to death. Right? That would be fucking stupid. That would not be prudent business decision. 1 second. I reply to my mother's text. She texts me in the morning. We gotta keep that money coming in. But beating your slave to death would be stupid. Right? It's not a prudent business decision. You don't see them beat prize race horses to death. Now, who was in the business of beating black folk? Poor white people. Right? So again, if we're going to talk to Boule, let's talk it. Right? So that bondage now is more mental. That whips and chains, a lot of it, we got to look at where and why a lot of this shit came from. Right? And again, the money ain't the end all be all, but the money sure enough helps in this system. And listen, all you quasi super pro black, well, listen, man, we got to get off their system, man. I remember they had young Pharaoh say this dumb shit. How you gonna call yourself pro-black and you using this? Pulling up $1. Nigga, the same reason you using it. You getting money telling niggas they stupid for using money. Crypto. Whoops. Nah, he's just using affinity fraud. But see, black folk in America, because we got separated from our nation state, right? Sold into bondage or not, we all got lumped together And when we got lumped together, we lost our nation state. So with no nation state, we didn't know who we were. So that's why we're clamoring for identity now. Right? Because I don't know what country I'm from in Africa. Because again, Africa is not a mono. You're not an African American. Right? You don't hear Asian American and think of Gurdeep. When you hear Asian American, you generally think of the quote unquote yellow man, right? But if you go to Europe, they call what we would call Indians, they call them, what is it? Indo-Asians, because India is on the continent of Asia, but India is a country. So Bollywood and shit is a country in India. So when we say go back to Africa, where the fuck do you want to go? Right? So we have to continue in this system because this system has already dominated the planet. What do I mean by that? Well, again, niggas keep doing this affinity fraud bullshit, right? About fiat currency and the US dollar is weak. The US dollar went away from the gold standard and it's been weak ever since that. That's how you know they don't know nothing about money. The US dollar has been weak ever since it went away from the silver standard. But I'll do you one even better. The US dollar has never been stronger. And it will only continue to keep getting stronger. Hopefully. Right? Because I'm a quote unquote Republican. And even though Republicans like small governments, quote unquote, that's fucking retarded. Republicans love big government. I'm not eating, I was rolling a joint. Republicans like big government. Why do I say that? Because we fucking love the military. And the military is the government. And the US dollar is backed by the might of the US government. And the US government is one of the only governments that has a military force in every part of the planet. So at any moment, we can say, yo, these niggas got it fucked up, son, slide on them. And we got at least 10,000 trained motherfuckers with guns and bombs to blow you away. Oh, I ate already. I had scrambled eggs and sausages. I think I want to do another brunch and wealth too. But this one I'm going to charge money. And the reason I'm going to charge money is because I wanted to do it. My mother was trying to do it for me here in Connecticut because she used to work with a bunch of young black single moms. And she was like, yo, this whole insurance shit and everything. Like, my mother witnessed me get shot. Like, when I got shot in the trade fair, that's Winston-Salem, North Carolina, for those who was involved in that type of shit. Right? But so she was like, being a single black mother raising you, whatever, shit's crazy. Like, I don't know. My mom used to date a lot of white men that on some shit, a lot of you niggas would call simps. But it ain't tricking if you got it, right? And the reason I say that, because I got homies who sell dope. And when they get a female, they take care of her. They pay her rent, right? They get her hair done, right? They buy her clothes. They buy her kids food, right? So a lot of you black guys who are mad at Pookie got the game fucked up. Because on some real shit, every nigga that I know that was a successful Pookie was a provider. Or some real life shit, right? And even I get on Pookie. But every black man that I know that was a successful Pookie was a provider, right? And and not on no 50-50 shit, neither, right? So as much shit as niggas talk about Pookie, including me, like I might talk about the way Pookie dressed, but Pookie a provider, right? Ain't that what y'all black men say you want to be as a provider? Pookie's a provider. Pookie go out there and get it. It might not be the best way, but Pookie goes and he does what he has to do to put food on the table. You think I'm lying? You think it's anecdotal? Go to your neighborhood and go find the dope man. I bet he's got a girlfriend or two. Most Pookies know how to deal with, talk to, and treat women. This is true. It ain't just the hard exterior. Because Pookie tells the princess all his secrets. That nigga cries on her shoulders. You Pookie don't always win a fight. Pookie get whipped sometimes. And when Pookie get pistol whipped, he got to sit in the back of the Escalade while wifey drive him home. She got to lick those wounds. She got to hear Pookie like, yo, fuck, I'm fucked up, shorty. I need you to work a couple extra hours of overtime so I could get, you know what I'm saying, Pablo his bread. But listen, I'm going to get this next flip and then we good. Pookie comes with a plan. Ain't that funny? You've got these so-called good black men hating on Pookie, including me. I hate on Pookie. I'll tell you why they hate on Pookie. What did Kevin Samuels say about the high value man? Women want you and men want to be you. Right? Now, I'm going to take Pookie out of black. She said, I don't know who my husband was talking about, but he was talking about some dude that called women bitches. I was like, an ignorant nigga is different from a Pookie. Yeah, nah, ignorant nigga is different from a Pookie. Bespoke God. What's good, Dark Man Jeff? Oh shit, my light just came on. Right? But oh shit, I'm almost at 80,000 miles, y'all. I'm at 79,962. I should go drive 40 miles somewhere. I had to get my 80,000 service though before I hit 80K. A lot of dudes don't know who Pookie is. Every Pookie I knew was a provider. The reason I hate on Pookie is because I know what Pookie could be doing. Right? But there's levels to Pookie too. Right? That's what it is. Good or so-called good black man status are too high, and Pookie would just talk to his sister. Pookie has a lot of game, and the good black men don't have game. He said Pookie don't know how to automatically mean raggedy nigga neither. Well, you know what? That's true, Dark Man. Um, Black America said good or so-called good black men standards are too high, and Pookie will just talk to his sister. Well, Pookie has a different outlook. Street Pookie is looking for a short time. This is tea. Lemon zinger tea. I don't drink coffee. Yeah, I drink tea. I might have to go get me another cup. Yeah, and then I get tea leaves. Like this is my Keurig cup because I used to. Well, I used to use the Keurig. Now my wife done. We done bought like 3 Keurigs. Damn, I can't open the cup. I'm trying to show y'all my T-ball, right? Because I have a T-ball and my wife bought me because I really drink tea. So I put like the actual herbs in there, the actual dry herbs. So actually, I could put weed in there and start absorbing my weed like that with colloidal silver. I think I'm gonna do that. Right? She said, "Oh, you are that tea." Yeah, I put the leaves in there. It shit good. Oh, you know what? I heard that mushroom coffee is good for your digestive system. You gotta, number one, if you got an affiliate link, throw it up there. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. That's why I generally smoke, is more control. But yeah, I won't fuck with that mushroom coffee because I heard it's good for your digestive system. Well, mushrooms are good for you in general. I'm trying to get on like this vegan shit, but I need to like start taking my wife to the gym. But I have to make that possible. So I have to have her in a position where she can retire because her job right now is too demanding. Make sure y'all click that link. That's for underrated today at 155. He's gonna be having an open panel. And everybody, if you got a channel, drop your link in the description if you got a wrench. If you don't, let me know. Well, not just vegan, but I need to add like I like vegan food. Like every once in a blue, that shit slap. Is this vegan space spot around the corner from my crib? Yo, the shit slap. I ain't gonna hold you, right? Like mushrooms slap. My mother be making these stuffed mushrooms. Oh my god, them shit slap. Yeah, you missed this morning though, Miss Queen. I made some scrambled eggs with onions and cheese and some sausages, and then I had an orange juice. You can't drop links. If you can't, hold on. Let me get you a wrench. Hold on. I'll be right back with my YouTube, my channel. Go to my live. Oh, you got a wrench. All right. Cool. Yeah. Drop your shit. You know, but Pookie seems to be a provider, and he comes with a plan, right? I was watching Black Adam the other day, and Hawkman was saying a bad plan is better than no plan. And so, what the so-called good black man is coming with is submit to me, bitch. Go make me a sandwich. Suck my dick and have my steak ready when I come in the dough. That's pretty much what you sound like. And you know what? Some women ain't got no problem with that. Except if you gonna come with those demands, all right, cool. So what am I submitting to? Well, just submit to me. You sound just like you say the women sound when they be like, build something. You sound exactly the same with a capital T, right? Because your complaint about her telling you to build something with no idea of what she wants you to build is exactly the same as you saying, submit to me because I got a job, but I have no vision or plan, right? So I'm gonna make another channel called Husbands United where I talk husband shit, because we gonna beat up on single dudes too. But Pookie come with a plan. It might be a bad plan, a reckless plan, but it's a plan. Hey, listen, look, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third, and ba 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 ba. Right? Yeah, she said, build a damn house. Right? I get you, Queen. There's a lot that goes to that. Right? So, Riaz, what's up, brother? So, as a man, right, you have to open the door and look through it. As a woman, you get to look through the crack of the door and say, build a house. As a man, I say, okay, in building a house, here's what I have to do. I have to procure land. So I have to brave the wilds, slay the dragon, kill the bears, and find a secure space that's safe for us. Then I have to clear the land. Then, in clearing the land, I understand that's his problem. But guess what? You're going to have to wait while all this shit is done. When you say build a house, I can't build it tomorrow. Just understand that, right? So now I'm letting you know the plan so you understand, hey, I'm going to build this house, but it takes a few steps. And so that's where this struggle love comes from that a lot of you black dudes are asking women for. Because you want her to struggle with you. But you're not giving her a vision or a plan. You're not saying, hey, I'm going to build that house. But there's levels to this shit, young lady. So I got to do A, B, C, and X, Y, Z. You're just saying, bitch, go in that house and make me a sandwich. I'm the man. Make me a sandwich. Let me watch the game with the fellas. I'm playing the game right now. I'm on 2K. Oh, this shit is I do this shit too sometimes. So like, remember, when I say black man, I'm included in this shit too. Uh they're two different things, but they're one and the same. Generally, you're going to struggle during a grind. He says these dudes are plenty ignorant. I'm sorry, she says. They are. A lot of these dudes is ignorant. Because they want something for nothing. Right? Now a lot of that comes from a lot of the older dudes. What I mean? Niggas like BGS, Dr. Ron O'Neill, Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. Why do I like smoking? Uh, it's a good question, Fitness Warrior. Um, it's a habit, and it helps me pass the time. I guess it's an oral fixation. Yeah, bro, Dark Man, you're in grind mode. So stay grinding. Says it's not good for you. I know. It's not. And it does shit like smoking triples your price of insurance. That's why I don't have life insurance. Part of the reason. Being a tobacco user triples the cost of your life insurance. So if you come to me and be like, how much is $100,000 of life insurance? And I say $100 a month. And then you apply and you say you're a smoker, that same $100,000 policy for $100 a month is now going to be $300 a month. Nothing else different. You everything else, you got perfect health except you use cigarettes, or you got perfect health and don't use cigarettes. Normally it costs $100 versus $300. That's why when people ask how much is the average policy, I can't tell you that. That's why I say between $1 and $1,000, because there's so many different variables. Career, education, and my health are big things in my life right now. Everything. Let me tell you why health needs to be a top priority, young black man, because the decisions you make today, or that Ciroc and pineapple juice, or fucking, I don't know what you drink today, the Casamigos, or that Casamigo Somali, that's gonna fuck you up in 15 years, right? You start having problems. Damn, it's getting cold. Let me close my damn sunroof, moonroof, whatever the fuck this is. I feel you. I'm not feeling judged. I just, you know, I do want to get better in my fitness, and that's one thing that fucks up my fitness. And like I said, it costs you money. That shit costs money because it ends up in hospital visits, clogged arteries and shit, right? Actually, I gotta turn this car on, turn on this heat for a little bit. Turn on this defrost for a little bit while I warm up the car. Let me turn on the car so it really gets warm. Damn, I'm down to a half a tank of gas again. I'm gonna have to go get some gas. Alright. Sun's off. If you want to buy insurance from me, I see smoke that can change my mind. Yeah, that could, but you know what? There's a lot of things that could change your mind. You know, some people do smoke, some people don't. That's what it is. So that's the risk that I take, right? You could want to buy insurance from me and see me cursing, and that could change your mind too. But what I do, what I eat, don't make you shit. So you know, if it makes you change your mind, it does. I'll have to just accept that. But you know, this is no, ain't no warning. It's good. It's a no judgment zone. I appreciate it all, right? That's their opinion. You know. Oh, okay. Well, if you know it, then you know it, Miss Queen. Um, but shit, trolls are good, right? uh, okay. So, I think like as black men, we gotta fucking figure out what our plan is and stop worrying about Pookie so much. Because like I said, Pookie got a plan, and every Pookie that I've seen been a provider, right? So Pookies are in sense an elite, right? They have their own class, right? But as that black man, let's come with that plan. Now, like you said, that's our problem, right? So Queen is looking at it like, yo, I just want you to build this house. Do whatever it is that you got to do to build the house, but build it, right? Just like, yo, I just want you to cook this steak. I done paid for the groceries. I done bought you the Uber to go, or bought you the car to go buy the groceries, gave you the credit card to go pay for the groceries, or gave you the cash to go buy the groceries, right? If they were gonna buy insurance, they'd have been reached out. They want to come in here with smoking this if you got 50. I know. It is what it is, right? But it's what's up, boss? It's a level of some shit that we got to figure out where we want to take this shit, right? Because we talk all this, let me lead, but where the fuck are we leading? Because I see a lot of niggas who are 60 that been on these panels for 10 plus years, right? I'm coming to find out, man, listen, I got my first taste of this shit in 2000. When did Jay-Z's album Holy Grail come out? I got my first taste of Tommy Sotomayor then. I was working at National Debt Relief. You know the company National Debt Relief? That's where I was working in Manhattan at 39 Broadway. That's where their office is. So yeah, 2013. That's when I first got my first taste of Tommy Sotomayor. And I thought it was funny because he was talking about black people as a whole. And I was like, oh, this is funny. He's getting on stereotypes. Hair-hatted hooligans. And then he would show, What did you call them? Uh, the Terminator, the BT-1000s, niggas who would go around and do dumb shit. Simon, what up, brother? Right? So I got my first taste of Tommy then. That was 10 years ago. Tommy is still a popping thing out here. Tommy is 10 years older. I'm 10 years older. I was 29 on the cusp of 30 learning of this nigga. Come to find out now, these niggas been around since like 2006 doing this shit. Right? That was my quasi entry. I used to watch it. The niggas at my job would watch it. Like, I got cool with Jews. Like, when you're black and you get cool with Jews in New York, like, Jews put you on to some games, son. Like, that's probably why I'm different. Like, they be like, yo, you're different than a lot of. They wanted to be like, yo, you different than them other niggas. Like, I'll call a Jew to his face. I'll call a cracker to his face. I'll call a spick to his face. I'll call a chink to his face. I might have to probably erase this video, but I don't give a fuck. I say nigga every day. Right? So they generally tell me I'm not like most black guys. And it is what it is. Right? And I'd be like, you're not like most Jews. Right? I remember I was dealing with an Israeli real estate broker. He says, listen, there's nothing worse than a broker. He said, but there's nothing worse than Israeli. He said, and I'm an Israeli broker, so I'm the worst of the worst. Right? Kay, what's up, brother? We was just talking about the black boule. We're talking about being black elites. You know, PG County got that. I got agents out there. Connecticut is another rich place. Texas is another rich place of black people. Houston. Atlanta is another place of black rich people or affluent black people. Oklahoma still has affluent black people. Minnesota is another place. Right? So, oh, it's nice and warm in this bitch now. I know. I know. Don't worry, Malika. I'm going to be careful. But we have to have some sort, like Kay said, in his culture, when you impregnate a woman, you're married. Obviously, you know, times change from time to time. Things change because evolution in the world is becoming more westernized. But we can't change the system. This world is globally dominated, right? So all you black guys talking this shit about, oh, we're gonna uproot the system, blah, blah, blah. You're not. So in working in the system, right? And the reason you have to work in the system, why do I say it's globally dominated? Approximately 67% of financial transactions done in the world are done in US dollars. Hopefully this stays on. I don't have my other Wi-Fi on. Let me see if this stays on. What you know what? I'm gonna do a pre-record on that. It says some families are like that. Get her pregnant, she's your wife, no abortion. I think it should be like that. Because how stupid does it sound? I don't think this person is marriage material. I don't want to spend the rest of my life with them, but I want to have a baby with you. Meaning I literally am going to spend the rest of my life with you because I'm going to create a person that I want to have a connection with for the rest of my life. So that's a marriage, isn't it? Am I fucked up in my thinking? Kay, you agree? I no, you know what it is, Kay? We're simps, right? We're simps. So we think like simps. Husbands United, right? Husbands United. We think like simps, right? Simon, I'm not. Am I fucked up in that thinking? Please put a one in the chat if you agree with me. If you impregnate somebody, you should probably marry that person. Now, am I saying all marriages are gonna last forever? And no, we're adults. Things happen, right? Like I said, I met my father recently, so I had to understand what 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 manhood was about, right? Because for 30 years I didn't have a relationship with my father. I met him the first time over the phone when I was 15. We talked for about an hour on the cell phone because my aunt, who was fucking his brother, my uncle, and married him, and well, my mother was 16, he was 17. It was a summer fling. He had came over. He was like, "Oh shit, a young 16-year-old hot chick." She was like, "Oh shit, a young 17-year-old hot dude. Let's fuck." He was like, "Let's fuck." They fucked. I got pregnant. I got created. Right? They had no clue about the other stuff. No doubt, I'll check it, bro. Uh, but I think that molded my thoughts of manhood, right? But like I said, my mom dated a lot of white guys, and white guys didn't see what they did as simping. A lot of y'all niggas would call it simping. And I'm gonna like the rest of this J and finish it. Now that I got like 2 puffs left. But a lot of dudes would call it simping. And why would they call it simping? I guess I could just turn the camera off, right? Now nobody can see what I'm doing. But a lot of dudes would call it simping. Oh, hold on. Let me change my name. Hold on. How do I do that shit? Uh, Hold on. Damn. Exit solo layout. Uh, layout private chat settings. All right. Well, I'll do it on my next live. But I think, like I said, a lot of these dudes spent a lot of money. Like they used to take my mom to Morton's Steakhouse, buy her outfit for the date, all that shit. The black dudes that my mother dated would steal her jewelry and just wanted to fuck. Right? No shit. I even seen it in live time recently. What, like 2 years ago? I took my mother and my grandmother out fishing. Right? And there was my mother is in her late 50s now, about to be. She's in her mid 50s. She's 56, so she was about 54 at the time. There was a white dude there, showed some interest in her. Recently divorced. Hey, talking to her. How you doing? Blah blah blah. My name is this, that, the third. Do they have no swag whatsoever? But he had the confidence to introduce himself. Now the black dude, same difference, but he was a 30 nigga. Hey, listen, I live up the street. You know what I'm saying? You want to come over? Blah blah blah. Nigga, get the fuck out of my face. Right? Now, I understand men of a certain age, but men of a certain age want women of a certain age. Some of y'all niggas may be on some pedo shit. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I was asking my brother-in-law the other day, because I was like, yo, why don't you get you a little 20-something? You know what I'm saying? You're only 45. He was like, bro, that's nasty. What? He said, yo, that's like fucking my daughter, my nigga. My daughter is 21. I'm saying, my nigga, fucking, so get you like a 24, 25. You 45. Nigga, my daughter is 21. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's nasty. What? He was like, nigga, I don't want to fuck my daughter. He was like, the youngest I might go is 35. Now, whatever floats your boat because it's all legal. But my father was on some similar shit. He was like, nah, I don't want no bitch too young. Why? Because, nigga, I'm a man of a certain age. It's shit I ain't trying to deal with. Right? So I'm like, oh, okay. So he was just, keeping it kind of all the way live, right? But these are all different class levels, and it's back to the breakfast and Boule, right? Like I said, I'm gonna go off on different tangents, um, but I just find it eerily odd that you know, I don't know, dudes could just wild out like that. Let me see. Anybody want to come up for a minute? Let me post the link in the chat. If anybody want to come up for a second and say anything, anybody got any questions? I know last night somebody had asked a question about a scenario on life insurance. I'm willing to ask questions like that. I can answer general questions to give you like a general idea. Uh, like for example, if you say, "Hey, listen, if a person is, you know, this age, da 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 da, they got this much money, what would a good strategy be? You know, if this is their intended outcome, right?" Not saying it's the strategy they should take, but a strategy they should explore and look at. I can always give it. I'm surprised she ain't in the building, right? It is still early though, right? It's only 10:30, right? I'm getting ready. I'm trying to watch my fuckery in a minute. I done smoked all my weed, so now I can't watch fuckery. But you know, I need to do my morning walks with y'all, but it's cold. Maybe I'll do a morning drive with y'all, right? But gas expensive, man. $40 for half a tank is a bitch. And I always fill up at half a tank, so I'm always at full. Kind of helps your car perform optimally. But you always know you have new gas at least, because when you're at half tank, well, I guess you'll always know you have full gas or new gas. If you go from half to empty and then go back up to half, that's new gas. I guess you'll have old gas because you go from half to full to half to full. It is what it is, right? But ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. The number one grinder. What's up, brother?
Going on, brother Alonzo? How you doing?
I can't complain. I mean, I can and I am complaining, but you know, nobody wants to listen.
You always be complaining for something to do what's right, constructive. It's all right. It's okay.
What's up with you, brother?
Man, I'm doing okay. I'm with the miss. I'm setting up the I just finished setting up the live for today. 155, and I definitely want you to join it because I do want to expand this conversation. This conversation needs to be talked about. I will split it my way, and it's going to be an open panel. And I want people to understand me and brother Alonzo, we going to talk about some of the conversations that we talk about on my channel yesterday. We're not going to really get deep with it, but it has to be explained because, like I always say, that we're in the system. So I tell anybody that looks like us, you get wherever you can in the system for benefit us.
Mm.
And when I say that, that means I'm letting you know we leased it. We not empowered that with people think we should. I could get down with the laws. I could break it down if I want to. But the thing that we have to understand is people that we own corporations and stuff like that, but it doesn't trickle down to our community. Is the money is going back to our community so we can build. There is a difference. We can have all the corporations all we want. We can have companies all we want to, but the money always go back to the ones that are ahead.
Now, let me
And
ask you this.
yes,
Why do you think that is? Do you think that's because we don't control industries?
you don't control nothing. That's why we leased it. You gotta understand. We see a person. See. It's like I will use social service. All right. Hello.
I'm here.
I'm a little social service. Right. I went to take care of some stuff. Social service, everything. Right. So I thought I was gonna be all day. Kind of find out I finished that by within like 15 minutes. So some tell me just stay there. Right. I
Right.
see like five Jews went in there, got everything they need, and they own businesses. I talked to them. I said, "Where you get all this?" Yeah, we got this and that and everything. They walked out with thousands of dollars of subsidies.
Right.
Walked out. What do you think them subsidies going to, bro?
Hennessy, Mercedes, Nike,
Right. That what we do.
Newport,
But when they got their subsidies from social service, where do you think that goes to?
homesteading, making their own clothes. It might go to Michael's Crafts, but Michael's Crafts is just gonna allow them to make their own clothes that they wear for years.
So this is what I'm saying. Who got game?
Right?
That's and I've been seeing this as me born and raised in New York. I see this all the time, and that's what I be seeing. Even I was saying it when my father showed me, my late mother showed me some stuff. That's what I came up there. We lease thing. I'm saying like this: if we do something to them or anybody nationality, you know what happened? We would pay for it.
Right.
We die, nothing don't happen.
Right.
And that's the problem. That's the thing I want people to understand. We are consumers. Well, when you consumers, you lease things.
Mm.
And I'm gonna go more deep into it of certain things that I've been through and also what I've seen and what I know. You think this space, we own this space?
No, we leased this space.
We lease the space, but they talking about we own what? You own what? I've been to sectors, different sectors. They can say what they want. And they tell you to, you can't tell me what to do, and you two don't do nothing. But when it comes to us,
Listen,
we
what?
gotta
Oh, you
change
can't say.
what we
You got to
say.
say grape. You got to say grape and shit like that.
Right,
Listen,
that's what I'm saying. And I've been saying this for years, but nobody ain't trying to hear me. But that's all right.
listen. Peep game, peep game. I'm gonna throw some game out there right quick, right?
All right.
They say they're concerned, right? Because we talk statistics, right? Dudes want to talk statistics all the time. Let's talk statistics. So they're so concerned about being monitored and oh, you have to say grape and you can't say this and you got to say, the P word instead of pedo and all this, right? Meanwhile, they're hyped about Kevin Samuels having 20,000 people in the views. Do you know how many views Mr. Beast has had? I'll tell you. Take a guess first. How many views?
20,000.
How many?
20,000.
More.
I said 1.5 million.
You ready for it?
Hit me with it.
38.2 billion,
It won't, so that'll surprise me.
right? He's had 38.2 billion
Billion.
views, right?
Oh, don't leave this out and counting.
And counting, right? So, I hear the nonsense of this is the biggest growing blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, man, listen, 38.2 billion views. Eh, you know?
Yeah. And then it was one time back in 2022, I think January, because I was celebrating in my apartment. I just moved in about a few weeks before that. And I got on it and I was like browsing around. So it was a white supremacist channel.
Uh,
I let them know. Oh, we know what you know. You know how many people was in this chat?
too
Yes.
many.
Yes.
10,000.
No, bro. Higher.
100,000.
It was 100,000. Right.
Damn.
It was little money. I said it was 150,000. I was there for only 30 minutes. It jacked up for close to 3 million.
Jeez. Yeah,
Cash
it be people
apps,
in those shits.
cash apps. They was cash apps, and we ain't gonna talk about the super chat.
Yeah.
35, close to 35 minutes. And
Mm.
this back in 2022 January. So this was what I'm saying. And this is, and we know that's a hate group. You know what they did to us as a people.
Uh-huh.
Again, who got game?
Okay. You
And that's
listen, you
what
you
I'm
you
saying.
dropping it, bro.
And that's what we're gonna talk about that today, and we're gonna talk about because this is the thing that we have to understand too. If we want to control our image, we gotta own our image of all
Yeah.
levels. We cannot sit at the table and take down notes. And as a 57-year-old black man, I'm not saying that I know it all because I don't, but I know a little something. And I see how our people at times be so stupefied,
Mm.
think they know everything and they fucking don't. They are
Hey, raining woman,
stupefied.
what's going on?
They stupefied. They are. I made it up. Yeah, they stupefied. They really are. And then you got these are the ones supposed to have the money. These are the ones supposed to have these degrees. These are the ones. But why you don't take that degree and stretch it? Why I'm saying like this though, take whatever America had and use to our ability. But no, we don't do that.
Mm.
They got game. We playing catch up. Listen, listen. They listen. They in the
Hold on, I got a phone call. I'll be right back.
all right. Okay. Oh, let's see. Oh, hello. Thank you. Like I'm saying, family, that we better understand, how the system works. We better understand. 'Cause a lot of us, we think we do, we don't, or there are some knows and they play way they get money out of it too. They get some abundance out of it too. But let it be known, they ain't own nothing. I mean, regional owner. That's where we at right now.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying that if y'all, I told people if y'all don't believe me, just observe what's going on. Look at the political. Look. All right. Good. Let's go in 2020. Look how they played us. Play hip
Mm.
hop. I'm not saying hip ain't nothing wrong with hip hop, but look how they degrade us and degrade our old genre of hip hop.
That's why I always say Gloctavius, right? You know that's the name I'm always throwing around, right? And that's the dude they run around brandishing weapons and acting crazy. Or this one. Hold on, I'm gonna put the other one in there. Or they do this one, which is what's the name just got on me for, right?
I'm gonna talk more about Israel later on, but people don't know what I text in your when I put that in your chat. Israel always going to be partnered with the United States because they start paying They give you the United States giving them money since 1948 of the land. And people say, what land you talking about? Of USA. Why do you think they got they got different types of synagogues, different types of things, different types of land, and different types of stores around the country? Because they know about ownership.
Mm.
And the sad thing about it, some of these Jews was actually slave owners.
Well, let's go back to that now, right? Because I was talking about the Boule earlier. One of the things that we don't, like I said, what do you think the biggest employer of Asian people is? Asian people. What do you think the biggest employer of Israeli people is? Israeli people. What do you think the biggest employer of Arab people is? Arab people. What's the biggest employer of white people? White people. What's the biggest employer of black people? It's not black people.
And you
Right?
know, yeah, right. And you know what the sad thing about it, bro?
Mm-hmm.
And I say this, and I believe in our people. You know, I believe in our people. I fight for our people. I don't give, and I don't care if people don't know about that, but I don't care. I fight for our people. But you know what the sad thing about it, though? Even our scholars say this. Each of them people you mentioned, they enslave us, but we built this, and
Mm.
we still don't have no ownership of it. And that's the thing that pissed me off ever since when I learned this as a preteen. They are reaping the fruits that we built,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't want to talk about that part.
Well, see, you know what? It seems like we're not willing to shed other people's blood, right? Or to have other people shed ours. We're willing to shed our own amongst our own, but we're not willing to put our lives on the line against others. And what ends up happening is we almost cannibalize ourselves because we become Gloctavius, right? And then we start. So here's something I want to point out, right? Because Black Entertainment TV mentioned that women are starting businesses at 6 times a higher rate than black men, right? And shout out to Prince Pierre because I'm about to get on niggas again. But the men, right? Because I went back at her with statistics, but then I had to think about something. If black women are starting businesses at 6 times a higher rate than black men, and I said yes, but the black women are generally starting, small LLCs. They're not passing, 10 million in revenue. Shit, they're not reaching 1 million in annual revenue, right? They're generally labeled a hobby after 5 years, right? Because they're not profitable for 3 to 5 years, right? And there is a lack of black people employing black people. Then that means that the black men need to be creating these businesses, right?
Right,
Shout out to Charles Faulkner. He created a business, right? It's Black Line Security in Maryland, right? Um, I might not agree with everything the belly aching about bitches, but the black man did some shit, so I'm gonna give him his credit, right? And he created a self-defense or a defense company, a security company. So people like me will hire him for protection services. Shout out to BMT. BMT been doing it for a while. The same type of thing. We've seen him in live action protecting in nightclubs.
understand that, but now I'm gonna throw this. I'm not gonna say throw that, but understand what I'm saying, bro. Is this that's true what you're saying, but we have to be real careful because we talking about the system here. They gonna give out opportunities to some. But the rest of us, we have to fight for it.
I don't care about what opportunities they're giving. We need to take our opportunities.
I
So
understand that, but
hold on, hold on. What BMT did and what Charles Faulkner did was they took their opportunities, right? And now they have the opportunity to branch out. Here's one thing that I did notice. As black men, we don't give ourselves enough credit. Others give us more credit for the shit we do than we do. This was studied. I'm gonna find the video and I'm gonna attach it here. I'm gonna attach it somewhere. I'm gonna share it on my community page. But there was a study done, right? And they were showing, listen, black men do some shit. They're actually doing pretty well. We just focus on the fuck ups, right? But in that, I understand what you're saying, but they took that opportunity. But with them taking that opportunity, we have to support the shit out of them. Why do we say, I don't care if they have to charge more for when they open a gun store and they charge more for their bullets than the white guy. You know what?
Yeah,
Because they, we still got to buy it from them because they don't get, because I don't have a wholesale ammunition company. So because they don't have access to a black man who wholesales ammunition, they have to pay 3 cents a shell more than the white guy. And when you're buying 500,000 shells, that ends up being a lot of money. But so I'll pay the 3 cents more so he could stay afloat. When he stays afloat, now he has the opportunity to employ my son. Because
right.
my son, I own a barbershop, but my son doesn't want to cut hair, but he likes guns. And now that I know that BMT owns a gun store, I can send him to BMT's gun store to learn how to work and say, listen, I know you don't have any experience. Go there, ask for BMT. When BMT talks to you, tell him, listen, I'm Alonzo's son. I don't have any experience, but he said to come talk to you. And what we as black men need to start doing is practicing nepotism and favoritism and saying, you know what? You're my boy's son. Yes, I'm going to hire and look for other qualified individuals, but I'm going to make sure you got a position here.
Yeah,
You know what? I'm going to start you doing the bottom barrel job. I'm going to have you sweeping dirt. Hey, Dad, BMT don't have me working at the gun store, but sweeping dirt. That's not working with guns. Is he paying you, son? Yes. Well, guess what? You started from the bottom, then you'll get there. That's what Drake said. So you're going to start from the bottom sweeping dirt because you don't want to cut hair. If you was cutting hair, you would start from the bottom sweeping up hair. Right now,
yeah,
you're going to sweep up dirt.
right.
Go get
But
that
this,
job, young black man, and let's expand. I'm
right.
sorry, but everything else right now, JT, sounds like belly aching. I can't hear
Oh
it.
no, no. Listen, what I'm saying. I was agreeing with you. I was gonna finish my point.
I'm sorry.
I'm agreeing with you, but the problem is how many black men were willing to do like Brother Charles and Brother BMT. And I'm telling you, for my age group, highly done, bro. Why do you think I am what I am, bro?
I got you.
That's the problem. We us as black men. I ain't talking us as a people, because that's totally another conversation. But I'm talking about us as black men. When we get opportunities, we don't keep it in the community. We listen what society say. Oh, we gonna give it to somebody else. And why do you think where we at right now? And that is the problem. We, like you
Mm.
said, we gotta block that off. We gotta help the young black man. We gotta help the older black man. We don't do that, but other people do it.
Right.
Other people do. They do empower other men. Yes, they do. I seen it. Even I live in Virginia, I seen it. But we don't. We don't. It's just a few things. I mean, I give you case in point. I give you case in point. There's a brother where I live at. He got a fruit stand, right? Nice fruit stand. I said, hey man, I see you doing your thing, but where the brothers and the sisters at?
Hmm.
Oh, they don't want to know. Well, you should why you go by what society saying? They look, they want to work, and then people say we willing to work, we willing to work. And I looked at him You say you ain't gonna buy from me. Nah, it ain't black. It ain't all the way black. I ain't buying from you because that money, what you going to get, is gonna go back to somebody else. So they ain't triggered out of our community. And
Now,
people say you shouldn't say that. You should. Where are people at? Where the
right.
brothers? There's young brothers walking around. I said, you want a job? Yeah, I work.
Now, I'm gonna speak to you on that because, like you said, and you know what? Now I completely understand why you said what you said and why you where you're at. Right? I'm gonna give you some evidence to that. Again, like I said, in owning a business, asking the black man. I ain't even gonna say owning a business. I'm gonna just say up being upwardly mobile. Right? I'm gonna take it back to 2007, 2008. I was I had just met my wife online early 2008, right? And I was working at the dollar store, right? The artist selling to the Negro. And I had been assistant manager, right? And the store was doing terrible till I became the assistant manager. And then the general manager started getting all sorts of raises. And every time corporate would come, he would make me stay there instead of him. But they'd be like, oh, yeah, you're going to get a bonus this month. We're going to give you an extra $2,000. Right. This man was making $52,000 a year. I was making $9 an hour. Now, yes, it was a lot of responsibility and the money was bullshit. But guess what I got? The title. Guess what I was also getting? He was grooming me to be the general manager. So he had his godson that he had got the job. And he was like, oh man, this kid is a fucking moron, but I'm grooming him to be the assistant manager when you take over, unless there's somebody you want to pick, right? Now, there was a young black boy who worked there. He was around my age. And he was like, yo, man, I need more hours because um I I'm having a baby. All right, cool. I'll see what I could do. But in the interim, I ain't gonna lie, I was riding him harder than I was the other employees. He was like, yo, why you riding me harder than everybody else? I said, you wanna know really? Yeah. I said, listen, John is getting ready to leave the store. He's going to make me the store manager. I am trying to make it so that you could be the assistant manager. As the
Uh,
assistant manager, it's a lot of pressure and shit. But here's what he said. Man, I ain't trying to take all that responsibility for only $1 more an hour. And I was like, bro, it's not just the responsibility, it's the title. Because once you have this experience in this title for 1 year, you could take it somewhere else and say, I want a job as a manager, a better salary, because they'll be making more money than a dollar store, so they'll be able to pay you more salary. And I have managerial experience, so I want to start at this level. I had a homeboy who at that same place came through. He had just got out of jail. He was like, oh, you the manager? Yeah. Yo, son, I need a job. All right, cool. I need you to put in the application, right? And I need you to change your gears. So I need you to pull up your pants, da 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 da. Oh, son, you tripping, bro. Like, just get me in there. That's not how it works. This ain't, I don't own the dollar store, bro. I can't just hire you. Number one. Number two, I can't have you, if I did own the dollar store, looking any old kind of way up in my shit, right? We wear uniforms, my nigga. I got a smock for you. You ain't trying to wear the smock, right? Next thing, like you said, the brother who did own the fruit stand. Where are people at? Yo, man, listen. Our people don't want to work. What I mean when I say that is they will work for others, but they don't want to work for me, right? They want to come and collect a paycheck when it comes to me. So, you know that trope where customer service is bad at black businesses? Employee retention is bad at black businesses because it's hard for us to keep employees because employees think they should just come in. We're not McDonald's. We haven't served a billion burgers yet. So you can't come in and do the absolute least and think you're going to get a paycheck.
Right. And then also I also witnessed that too.
You
You
can't
know,
give people 17 sauces and 43 napkins.
yeah, I mean, like you, yeah, because I, like I said, throughout the years, you know, God has gave me blessings, and I know people that they need people to work, and so I put them on. Like, listen, I can't get it, but you know, you go get this. Nah, what do you mean you can't work me? You gotta, yo, you gotta get, you gotta start from somewhere to get where you need to be. I ain't taking that. So that job, you know, that job is going to go to somebody else, and that's going to enhance their generation wealth. Do you understand, stupid? Do you
Right,
get what I'm saying?
right.
And so it's we're gonna talk about that today too. And it's sad. It's sad because sometimes I notice that about our people too. Sometimes we blow opportunities up too. Because we look for a quick fix instead of the long haul, the
Yeah,
big picture.
yeah. Well, you know what it is? We don't look for. So I do this and I try to train my people when I sell insurance. I don't even care if they buy the policy or not, but I try to train our way of thinking. So, one thing I do when I sell a life insurance policy and I show the money, I say, okay, you're going to pay $100 a month. That is $1,200 a year. So, I'm already trying to train people stop thinking of things in month to month because wealthy people don't think in month to month. Wealthy people think in generations, right? They think in decades, not days, right? So I'll say, okay, that's $1,200 a month, or excuse me, $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year, right? You see that? So here in year 10, you've paid $12,000. So I skip from year 1 to year 10 because I try to train my people to think in terms of decades, not days, right? And too many of us are worried about, listen, man, I worry about that later. I'll give you a prime example. I got a relative who has having a baby. They was having a then when they told me they was pregnant, I was like, cool. Let me talk to you and your baby daddy about life insurance. Right? Oh, we don't want to talk about it right now. We getting ready for the baby shower. All right, cool. Here's the registry. All right, here's your gift. Boom. All right, cool. Oh, you got us a great gift. Yeah, cool. Listen, let me talk to you and your wife about baby life insurance. Oh, listen, we want to enjoy our day right now, blah, 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 blah. Months later, they haven't talked to me about life insurance. Now, God forbid something happens, or even worse, fuck something happening. Let's turn around 5 years from now, you ready to buy a house. Oh, we got to go get a mortgage. Your net worth ain't high enough. Damn, how could we get a higher net worth? Hey, cuz you work in finance, we trying to get a mortgage. Oh, if you had life insurance 5 years ago when I spoke to you, you could have borrowed some of that money and your net worth would have been higher. Damn, why didn't you tell me? Well, you wanted to enjoy the moment, right?
Yeah.
So you enjoy the moment. So you thought in terms of days, not decades, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've been going for 2.5 hours, right? But you know, it's it seems like we prefer to be lower class, and like you said, how many dudes are willing to take shit by the horns, like BMT, like Charles Faulkner. Shit, like my principal Charles Galliard. CG Wealth Solutions.
But see, the sad thing about it, bro, right? We got people in the past. I'm talking about our people had done it, and y'all still don't want to learn from it. Stupefied.
You got a point. What's up, Queen?
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Morning. Good morning.
What you doing now? You went to the store already?
I'm still home. I'm about to go back to the store and get me another orange juice.
Why your name
My-
Glocktavius?
Cause she said, "Why is your name Glactavius?" That's
Why your
that's
name
the that's
Glocktavius?
Pookie.
That's Pookie. It's the Pookie in
hmm
you.
That's the Pookie in me.
That is funny as hell.
That's
I
my
didn't want
alter
nothing.
ego,
Oh, that's your
Glactavius.
alter ego. Speaking alter ego. What the hell? How you get shot? What was you doing?
Oh well, that I was working at Wendy's and selling weed in the tray fo. I don't know if you know the tray fo, if you know North Carolina like that, but that's Winston Salem, North Carolina. And um, I was running around drunk, gang banging, wearing one color that the other gang didn't, and I was walking the streets dolo drunk. I was a wild dude because I used to go everywhere flagging, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like if people don't know what flagging is, what that means is if like you know what biker gangs are, they're flying your colors. So you're wearing your bandana in a manner that you're showing you represent this gang by wearing your bandana colors out and about. And wherever you go, you're saying, "Hey, I represent this gang because I'm wearing these colors and I'm flying them." And so I would go everywhere flagging, and it was a lot of MS-13 out there. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm an outlaw type nigga, right? So I wear whatever the fuck I want. Like um, GD Folk Nation, but we wear whatever we want,
Yeah.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I would wear blue bandanas. I would wear red bandanas. My favorite was my tan bandana, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I walk around flagging and shit, and I was selling bud, and the niggas in the neighborhood didn't like that. But I was drunk one night walking dolo, and I used to carry an ox. An ox is a knife.
Mm-hmm.
And these niggas was out drunk too, and I was
Mm-hmm.
dolo, and one of them fell down drunk, and I said, "Damn, cuz," and they was bloods, so they ran up on me,
Oh shit.
and
No, you didn't call him no cuss. Okay, then what happened?
so they ran up on me, and we was all, you know how niggas do that, don't want to fight, basically kissing each other, bullshit all up in each other face.
Yeah.
That gay ass shit. What nigga? What nigga? If you gonna pop, right? So
Yeah.
it's four of them, one of me, right? So
Mm-hmm.
finally I backed up and I flashed, right?
Yeah.
But the knife I carried was a buck knife. You could actually go buy them from Walmart. I think they're
Mm-hmm.
still 16.99, right?
Yeah.
And it's a hunting knife basically, or a craftsman's knife.
Yeah.
And so, but it's a black and chrome handle, and I carried it on my waistline. So
Mm-hmm.
when I flash it, if you just see black and chrome, you probably think it's a gun.
Yeah.
So they backed off, and I was like, "Yo, we could squash this right now. Y'all niggas got drink, I got drink, y'all got weed, I got weed. Let's smoke it." So they Bobby Schmurdered me, right? So what I mean is they hooked me up with a shorty, and so me and shorty was hitting it off, whatever. And a couple weeks later, she called me late night, and I was drinking this drink. I was drunk and shit, and she was like, "Yo, come meet me at the telly." I was like, "Yo, I ain't got no car or nothing." She was like, "Just walk." My mother, I had lived with my mother and brother in an apartment. And she was like, "Yo, don't go, don't go." I was like, "Ma, I love you, but you can't give me what Shorty about to give me."
Oh wow.
Right? So I walks out the door. I get maybe 10 feet from my front door, and I feel it hear this loud pop in my right ear. Blah!
Damn.
I'm like, "What the fuck?" I turn around. I look at this nigga. He's like, "Yeah." And I'm staring down the barrel of a nine.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I basically was close enough to look the nigga in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I know who it was because it was the same niggas that I had beefed with that introduced me to the chick.
Oh wow.
Right? I knew from the voice. Damn, my phone dying. Right? But I knew
Mhm.
from the voice. So I'm like, I see this one nigga and I got my ox on me. I can swing from the shoulders from cuz. And it is what it is. But I turned around and his son got a beam on me with a 38. So
Oh
I'm like,
shit.
fuck, it's two niggas. I'm hit. So at that point, I don't know if it's women's intuition or whatever. My mother came out the door. She come looking around the door, you know what I'm saying? Or around the
Yeah.
corner. She see me sitting there. And that's when these niggas was like, yo, give it up. Like I said, I was working at Wendy's and selling weed, and a lot of niggas in the neighborhood knew me because I was from up north. You know what I'm saying? And I'm coming down south kicking up dust. Right?
Yeah.
So damn, I talk like a pookie.
I'm high talk like a too.
Right? So
Mhm.
I'm sitting there like, all right, shit. I'm fucked. I can't do shit. I gotta give it up. So I reach in my pocket to get my wallet. But
Mhm.
the wallet is that's the same side that I keep my ox on.
Yeah.
So when I lift up my shirt to go get my wallet, what you think son see? He see the chrome handle. So all I hear is, oh shit, you real. And then the niggas start laying off.
Oh wow.
So the niggas let off the full clip. I only got hit 5 times. Right? The first one where he smacked me with the burner in my right ear, he let off a shot, so it grazed the top of my right ear. So that sobers you up. I was drunk as fuck, but when you get shot at close range, nigga, you get sobered up. So I got mad sober, and I'm turning around, and I'm like, oh shit. And the first bullet hit my left shoulder. I felt it, but when you get shot, you don't know that you got shot.
Okay.
So you ever been stung by a hornet?
No. Uh.
All right.
Mm.
So it basically feels like getting stung by a hornet or a wasp, right? Like a
Okay.
big, yeah, probably a hornet,
Mhm.
right? And so it's like, zoom, and it hits you hard as shit, and then you just you be like, what the fuck just happened? And then that bullet time that they show you in the Matrix, that's
Mhm.
some real life shit, right? Because time
Yeah.
slows down, right?
Mhm.
So I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck just happened? And I'm sitting
Mhm.
here looking at the nigga, and I'm seeing him letting off, and I'm not knowing I'm getting hit because it grazed my left elbow, went through my shoulder, came out my back, and grazed the left top of my head.
Oh
And my
shit.
mother, like I said, had came outside. So right when I'm giving up the wallet and all this shit is happening, she's walking up, seeing two niggas with guns pointed at her baby. Oh shit! Right? But here's
Yeah.
what's crazy. These niggas shooting. I just turned around. I saw my mother, so I started walking towards her. Not running, walking. Just
Mhm.
regular degular. Not trying to run from the bullets or nothing. The adrenaline's pumping. You just don't know what's going on. So
Yeah.
I'm like, and then my brother was upstairs with this big booty chick that he took from me. That's
Mm.
a whole nother story. But, niggas still niggas bitches all the time.
Yeah.
Bitches still bitches niggas all the time.
Mhm.
But so then my mother started screaming like, "Oh shit, you shot." Before then I was cool. But when my mother told me I shot and I recognized that, I was like, "Oh shit." So now I'm, screaming bloody murder revenge. "Oh, you bitch ass niggas come back, I'll kill you." Da 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 da. Right?
No.
That's what you do when you listen. It's different scenarios, but listen, your adrenaline is rushing. So that's why you get into the good gunfight. Damn, my phone about to died too. Ain't this a bit, right?
You had to
But
put it down on the charger.
I'm in the whip, I'm still smoking, right? But
You ain't got no charger in the car?
this charger is slow charger.
Oh, you better upgrade.
Yeah, I gotta find the super fast joint. Is shit connected? Is it even plugged in? I don't even think it's plugged in. No, it ain't plugged in. Yeah, I plugged this shit in. Yeah, but so after that, I walked back, and then my mother's screaming. My brother comes out, and we hop in his Jeep, and we speeding. Now we're not from North Carolina, so we don't know where the hospital is. If you know how
Mhm.
North Carolina is built, like I said, we was in Winston Salem, so we lived on Peter Creek Parkway, right? I don't know if you know where that is in relation to anything or what have you, but we
I
was
don't
over
know a
there.
whole lot about North Carolina.
Uh, so we was over there or whatever, but you know, from there, when I woke up in the hospital, they cut off all my clothes. They put paper bags over my hands, and they asked me some questions about, what happened. The paper bags is because they wanted to see if I had gunpowder residue if I shot back, if I was in a gunfight.
Yeah.
So then, they from there, we just I was in the hospital for maybe 14 hours, but they didn't. The only bullet wound they tended to really was my shoulder and my back. Right? They just made sure my back drained out, and they put a band-aid over my shoulder and my elbow. But when I got home and I got in the shower, I had hair on my head, so I didn't know that I got hit in the head. So I'm washing my hair, and I'm like, oh shit, it's uh my head is burning. And come to find out, it was blood because I had got hit in the head. So I had to ask my mother to clean the wound and put peroxide on my head.
Oh
Right.
wow.
And so she had to help clean that wound and put peroxide on my head and shit. Uh, and then one positive thing out of it is I had four little cousins who were enthralled with the gangbanging bullshit at the time. And they looked up to me and they was like, oh, you a gangster? Because I was like, I was from up here. So I was like, oh, I'm a gangster. I'll gangbang anywhere. Da 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 da. I'll wear my colors anywhere. Fuck these niggas. Right? Because they was like, oh, we're in blood territory. Oh, fuck these slobs. Da 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 da. And, you know, all this gangster bravado. Oh, the hood, my hood. Nigga, we didn't own shit there. We didn't own a business, nothing. The fuck is it your hood? Because if Alan
Right.
Steinlein came up there and said, get the fuck out, you wasn't stopping him.
Mhm.
But anyway, so they looked up to that shit. And I then, shit, I got an agent calling. Hold on. Well, let me end this, y'all. I'm gonna start another live later.
All right. Peace out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Salute, folks.
155, bro.
No doubt.
All right.
Upstairs. Oh shit.